Betty. Betty's on the go.
That's tough.
Welcome to Betty on the Go. I'm your host, Betty Gudel. We are live streaming at the Accelerator, 720 Ouellette. If you're walking by, even though it's a little bit rainy, give us a wave. Christmas is coming up and everyone's looking for gifts. We're going to discuss a gift that will help you stay together with your significant other and will help bond families. We have our wonderful guest, Diane Bondy, and we'll be right back with her in 2 seconds.
You're watching Exist TV, streaming live from downtown Windsor for the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and this is Betty on the Go with Betty Gudel. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. I'm Betty Gudel.
Hey, Betty.
Hi, this is Diane Bondy. Diane Bondy is the owner of Eastside Yoga Studio in Windsor on Tecumseh Road East. She is also the owner of Yoga Stay.
Yoga Stay, our online site. Yep, our online studio.
And she is a blogger for the Elephant Journal.
Yep, and doyouyoga.com. Yeah.
And she is going to be an author of 2 new books coming out.
Yeah.
And she is like and she has so many things. And this summer she recently was invited to
Washington, D.C., where we did a photo shoot. It's for a book called Yes, Yoga Has Curves, and that's coming out, I believe, in February. And it's just a celebration of all body types in yoga, because right now in media we only see a very specific body type, right? So we're trying to open up the idea and the door that anybody can do yoga anywhere at any time. So it's important that we see all kinds of different body types, all different genders, all different ages and sizes doing yoga.
And to be able to walk into a yoga studio and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And not have to wear Lululemon pants where your thighs rub together and go, oh my gosh, no.
Well, if your thighs rub together, that bothers Chip Wilson from Lululemon, so unfortunately,
well,
sorry.
I guess won't be wearing Lululemon pants.
You and 90% of the women.
But now a lot of people are intimidated by yoga.
Absolutely.
You have something in common with Oprah Winfrey and with Madonna and with Gwen Stefani.
Wow.
They're all yoga practitioners.
Yeah.
And all completely different.
Right.
So people think, oh my gosh, I can't do these poses.
Yep.
It's very intimidating. They don't even know what to do when they go into a yoga studio. But you are offering
Intro to Yoga. So that's coming up in January, February, and March. And it's a really great program. It's a 4-week program that introduces you to the basics, and it's for the raw beginner. So if you've never ever done yoga before, and if you don't know what a sticky mat is, this is the class for you. If you're a seasoned practitioner, it's also great because it takes you back to the basics and helps you get back to the alignment principles that keeps your yoga practice safe and attainable and accessible for years to come. So sometimes we jump into a yoga class that is beyond our ability. So we're brand new to yoga. 5:30 is a good time for us to go to yoga. So we jump to the 5:30 class, which is a little more advanced or moves a little faster, and we get lost. We can't keep up. We don't look like everybody else in the room. We get discouraged and we think yoga's not for us. Well, that's not the case. So we've kind of demystified it. We take 4 weeks to break it down, and we offer it twice a week. And part of the Intro to Yoga program comes with a 1-month membership to the studio. So part of your homework at Intro to Yoga is to take other classes and become familiar with the practice of yoga.
And you're also offering a special.
I am. Intro to Yoga is actually $10 off, so a great experience, a great way to come in and experience yoga. It's, like I said, it's 4 weeks to bliss. It's 4 weeks to living a more skillful life. It's 4 weeks to de-stressing, because as a culture, we typically don't really know how to relax. People tell us, relax. What does that mean? And how do we do that? And how do we really begin to slow down and take time? This is how.
And a lot of people have these separate lives, and couples are breaking up because they don't spend enough time together.
For sure.
So yoga is a great way to be in the moment. And men, or women, if you buy your husband or your boyfriend or your significant other a membership, he will go, because men are frugal. If you buy it, they will do it because he paid for it. So you'll get them to go. So do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to show you or Diane is going to show you
I'm
because,
gonna show you this.
and Alex, our IT person, our technical person, is going to join us to show you that anyone can do yoga.
Yep.
So Alex, come and join us.
So it'd be great, Alex. Do you feel like taking off your shoes for us?
Let's see those toes.
Yeah. Don't be scared. Nobody's judging your feet. This is a no judgment zone. Good.
Okay, great.
Great. So it would be preferable if you took off your socks, but we can work with what you've got. So let's start first of all by lifting all our toes up and spreading them out. So we cram our toes into shoes and socks all day long, and we never actually connect with the earth. And the earth gives us sustenance. It grounds us. It keeps us rooted. It allows us to become more stable. Then from this place, just really get strong in the legs. And what I tell people to do is just push down into the earth and energetically pretend you're trying to move the tiles of the floor apart, and you're going to feel the quadriceps, the glutes, the outer hips kind of fire up. And then pull your low belly in, lift out through the roof of your mouth, and take your shoulder back. And now you're standing in good posture. And that's a really great way to start. You have a solid foundation. Then take the opportunity from this place to close your eyes and start to take deep breaths in. So what we don't always recognize, notice, or tune into is what our breath is doing. Okay? And the thing about breathing is it's an automatic response, but we tend to breathe really shallowly. So let's start by taking a deeper breath in. Let's start by just inhaling in through the nose, expanding the belly, and lifting the chest, and then just exhaling all the way out. And this is enough to start the relaxation reflex. So starting to really slow our breathing down. And at any point, if you feel like you're becoming agitated in your everyday, a really great way to start to relax and slow down is to increase the exhalations. So if you start to increase your exhalations, make them a little longer than your inhalations, we start to soothe our nervous system. So then we'll step a little further apart, and we're going to add a little movement to this. So we're going to inhale and sweep our arms up to the sky. Exhale and bring our hands through heart center. And that's all we're going to do. So let's just try with that. Inhale, lift the chest, eyes follow the fingertips, legs are strong. Exhale, hands through heart center. 2 more. Inhale, big breath. And just this really allows you to expand the rib cage and the lungs. Bring the hands through heart center. 1 more time. Inhale, reach up. And this time, keep your hands up overhead. Lace your fingertips together, and then push the heels of the hands away and squeeze between the shoulder blades. Firm your belly and lift up. Get nice and tall and strong. And then on the exhale, bend your knees, place your hands on your knees, stick your butt out, and then notice how much flexibility you have. Now, I'm a child of the 70s and 80s. And we were told we were physically fit if you could touch your toes. Well, that's not necessarily the case. If you can touch your toes, you're very flexible. Bend your knees, tip your sitting bones back a little bit, so stick your butt out, and then just kind of let the crown of the head draw to the floor and feel the stretch through the back of the legs. The feet are engaged. You're pushing your feet down into the mat, and you're pushing your bottom back so that you're getting a stretch through your backs of your legs, your hamstrings, your glutes, maybe your calves. And then on the inhalation, come all the way back up. Spread the fingertips out wide. Reach the fingertips up to the sky. Lace the fingertips together and push the heels of the hands away. And now take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, lean a little bit to the right and take a nice stretch. Good. And come back through center. And then stretch to the left. And just really lengthen and stretch here. Good. Come back through center. Reach up nice and tall. And now exhale, bring your hands through heart center. And that's just a little way to get a little bit of movement into the body. So the idea is, do you want to feel better? Do you want to relax? Do you want to get a little more flexible? Then you can do yoga. You don't need to be able to stand on your hands or even stand on your head. Although it's nice, highly recommended. But if you can't do it, that doesn't mean you shouldn't come to yoga. We'll teach you how to do those things.
The nice thing about coming to Intro to Yoga, a lot of people like myself have done yoga for years.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing it properly, you could also harm yourself.
Absolutely.
So when you're learning the proper posture, it's very important, and it makes you a lot more confident in your practice.
Absolutely, and it makes your practice more sustainable over time, because the minute we endure an injury, we're quick to jump out of the practice. But if we can learn proper technique, proper alignment, you're more likely to be more successful with your yoga practice.
And a lot of men can't touch their toes, and then all of a sudden they're in yoga, maybe even for 6 months, all of a sudden you can touch your toes, so it's an accomplishment. It's very empowering.
It is very empowering.
Without bending.
Yes, without bending the knees. But you always want to keep a micro bend in your knees when you fold forward, just to protect your knee joints. But yeah, absolutely. I've seen sad people become happy, sick people get better, strong people get stronger from this practice. And I think what attracts us to yoga is our lives are every day are crazy busy. Like my day started at 6, it'll end at 8 o'clock tonight, and it's been nonstop all day. And so what drew me to the practice is the ability just to slow down and be in the moment. So that's all you want. If you're looking to slow down, get to know yourself better, take in a little bit of exercise, this is the way to do it through your practice. And this is the key for you to live your life a lot more skillfully.
And even a basic move like a downward dog, where you're doing a version where your head is below
your
your
heart.
heart.
It's energizing.
It is.
Do you want to demonstrate one for us, Betty? Or even, yeah.
Okay, let's get, okay, you tell us how, and Alex and I will do it.
Okay, perfect.
For sure.
All right. So Stan, the best way to do this is just to fold forward. So let's inhale, sweep our arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, and I always like to stick my butt out, and that way I stretch a little bit. Release your fingertips to the floor. So now I'm going to take it to the easiest way to get here. Walk your hands forward on the floor. This is the easiest way to get here. Good. Spread your fingertips out a lot, and think of it as a big inverted V. Good. Squeeze between your shoulder blades, root your heels back, and you can walk your feet back a little bit for me, Juan. Just walk them further back to the couch and make a bigger V. Yeah, back the other way for me, dear. Back to, yes. And then squeeze between your shoulder blades, look back at your toes. And this whole idea with down dog is that we're stretching the spine from the hips down to the crown of the head. It's like traction. And then the energy is moving down from the back of the legs into the heels. So it's a nice stretch that's moving in both directions. And I find as a beginner or a newbie, it's often easier to get to downward facing dog from walking from your feet. And as a newbie or a beginner, I would have you walk your hands back towards your feet, come back to what we call forward fold. And the Sanskrit word for that is Uttanasana. And then take your hands on your hips, soften your knees, shoulder blades on your back, inhale and come all the way up strong. And then reach up to the sky and feel the length in your spine. Lean to the right a little bit, good. And then lean to the left a little bit. And come back through center and stretch. And then exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Nice job. How did it feel?
Do you know what? When you have a little bit of blood flowing to your head and to your heart, it's great for your circulation, and it makes your complexion looks great. Alex, you look amazing.
Instant facelift.
Yeah. And those are 3 basic, and then you add on.
You
to
add
different
on.
flows. So it's not intimidating.
No, and if you take it slow, there's lots of poses that we can all do, and every pose has some kind of modification. There is no full expression of the pose. There's only your expression of the pose, and we can always find a modification to suit your body type, to suit your flexibility. It really is a practice that's designed for everybody. So don't be discouraged by size or gender or anything. Come to your mat. It's so worth it.
And there's so many different types of yoga.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people just think yoga, but there's power yoga, there's a vinyasa flow, and then there's also gentle yoga that's very
static, yes. And then there's yin yoga, which stretches the connective tissue of the body. There's Kundalini yoga, which is designed to stimulate the chakras and the Kundalini energy. There is all different kinds of yoga. So there's lots out there. Iyengar yoga, all kinds of
So you can never get bored, or if you choose one that you really like, then that's okay too.
Yeah, exactly. You find what works for you and speaks to your heart, and you do it. You find the studio that feels best for you, and you find the teacher that speaks to you, and then you dive into your practice.
Now, Diane also has a lot of different workshops, and right now you're holding one for prenatal, so mommies to be, because a lot of doctors actually prescribe yoga, and for infertility because it helps to relax you, and it helps to get all the blood flow to your endocrine system.
Yeah, for sure. And the great thing about the prenatal yoga, which Jane Sishan offers at our studio, is that it helps women prepare for birth. And I really dove into my yoga practice when I was pregnant with my boys, and I was able, and I mean this is not for everybody, and I'm not saying do or don't But it helped me get through a natural birth. So I ended up having my
Kudos
children.
to you.
Yeah, I know. It's a little crazy. But the breathing, the relaxation allowed me to have a birth at home, which was nice. My first child I had at the hospital, but I also had a natural birth, and I do really attribute the yoga to that, keeping me focused and keeping me relaxed and keeping me present in the experience. And that's really what I wanted.
And as women get age and they get older, you guys really want to hear this, but sometimes things can happen to your uterus.
Oh yeah, they tell you that in prenatal classes. Plug your ears. Things start to fall out.
Yeah.
So we
Mula Bandha. Yeah.
we have a practice called Mula Bandha, which is like squeezing your Kegels, but it's a lifting of the perineum of the pelvic floor. So you're going to draw it up, almost like you're pulling it up in an elevator, and you're going to hold that squeeze. And what's really key about doing Mula Bandha in this particular lock or energy lock at the base of your spine, at your root chakra, is it's really good when you're doing a lot of back bending poses, because what it does is it stabilizes those deep internal core muscles, and it helps you from straining your back in back bends. So it's a nice stabilizing muscle, so that when you're pulling through things like Cobra, you should really be engaging what we call Mula Bandha. So it's a lot like a Kegel, but a little bit different.
And they're good for men too. So
yes, we call it flicking your bick.
What about people with column injuries? Like
Spinal injuries, absolutely. You have to be careful with that. Know what your limitations are. Speak to your doctor before going to yoga. But what we like to say in yoga is your chiropractor will put you into your adjustment, and yoga will keep you there. So it's a great way to keep the spine lubricated and flexible and viable. And I always say in class, and I said it this morning, is I don't know where the quote is from, but you're only as young as your spine is flexible. So I think that's a great quote. I use it a lot.
Oh yeah, you're done.
You're done. Unless you wanted to, do a few sun salutes, but you're good.
Yeah, ready. Okay, you can go.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey.
Namaste.
So Alex, now you have to come to the studio and practice. You too, Mike.
There you go. And if you're watching this program, I'll give you a free week. So
That's
come
right.
see
So
me.
if your wife is watching,
Yeah.
you need to get Mike a pass to the yoga studio.
Fun.
She's probably thinking, yes, that's what I always wanted to do. We can do it together.
You can do it together. There's lots of
And
great.
you can help each other too,
Yeah.
and you can help each other with postures. Oh, okay. Anyways, we're going to break for a commercial. We'll be right back with Diane Bondy.
Yay!
You're watching this TV, streaming live from downtown Windsor for the Windsor Downtown Business Accelerator, and this is Ready on the Go with Betty Gudel. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Betty on the Go, and we're here speaking with Diane Bondy. Diane, what prompted you to get into yoga in the first place?
When I was growing up, my mother had this book called Stay Young with Yoga, and it was written in, I want to say 1955. I
think I have one of those, yeah.
It's old. Like the pictures in it are actually pretty funny. And my mother had 3 of us under the age of 3. So she was a little, what she would say, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And it wasn't like, she didn't live in a time where she knew how to drive. So she was kind of stuck at home. So when she put my brother and sister down for a nap, we would do yoga in the basement. So it came, as a 3-year-old, I was introduced to the practice as a way for my mother just to kind of distress. And I remember her teaching me how to meditate at that age, which is impossible for a 3-year-old. But I had to sit really, really quiet. And she used to set her watch down, and we'd sit really, really quiet. And if I managed to sit quiet long enough, she would give me like a cookie or something. So I really worked hard at just focusing on watching the minute hand on the watch. And we used to do that. And it was, I think, a way for my mother just to get a little bit of exercise, have a little bit of quiet time, and it just always stuck with me. We were always the weird family at our house. We recycled before it was cool to recycle. We composted before it was cool to compost. My mother was very much a child of the 60s and was really into yoga and things like that. So we always kind of grew up with that in the house. So I've drifted in and out of my practice over the past 40 years, and mostly drifted in, and in the past 10 years I've been totally dedicated to it. So that's how my journey started.
And your children do yoga with you.
Yes, my children, I did yoga right up to the day I gave birth with both my children. And I think my first yoga class for both of them was 2 weeks, when they were 2 weeks old. So
Wow.
yeah, I
and
took
that's
them.
a nice bonding, isn't it?
It's wonderful. I loved mommy baby yoga, so much so that I ended up teaching it at one point, but it was just nice baby time. And I just remember oming and looking down at Dylan. He was sitting in my lap, 2 weeks old, and he looked up at me and he smiled. So even as a baby, they understand the power of that connection to self and the power of that connection to vibration. So pretty cool.
That's right, because children feed off of your energy. So if you're really stressed out, you're going to have a cranky
Stressed out baby.
yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
Sure. My kids were good sleepers during the day. They sleep at night, but they were really sweet, relaxed children. And I have 2 boys. And I have to say that my boys are pretty calm. They do meditate. They do yoga with us. We offer family yoga at the studio. The second Friday of every month, we invite families to come. And our motto is, families that practice together stay together.
So true.
You want to show the PowerPoint?
Yes, absolutely. And you are also giving a special, so your specials for Christmas are
Up on the website. Yeah.
So it's www.eastside-yoga.com. And if you're scheduled, sometimes schedules just don't permit, so you really want to get to a studio and you can't. You have a solution for that.
I do. A lot of my friends had babies and they couldn't get away to come to the studio and do yoga. So we developed an online yoga studio called Yogastea. The beauty of Yogastea is it's everybody's on there. We have over 70 streaming classes, all the way from super beginner, there's a 4-week beginner series on there, to super advanced, introduction to arm balances and handstands and everything in between. The beauty of Yogastea is a lot of it is filmed in different parts of the world as well. I've been very fortunate through social media to connect with a lot of really great teachers, and I've had an opportunity to train in a lot of places around the world. So I've made a lot of connections with people, and they also contribute to Yogastea. So Yogastea is a wonderful way to get a practice, anywhere from 5 minutes to 2 hours on there. We have a lot of great local teachers that are at local studios here in town. Most of it is filmed in our studio at Eastside Yoga, and some of it's actually filmed in my home studio at home. But it's a wonderful way to get your yoga practice on. And it costs less than a drop-in fee per month than the drop-in fee of any yoga studio. So most of the yoga studios around town, the drop-in fee is anywhere from $10 to $20, and Yogastea, you can get over 75 classes streaming at any time on your iPhone, on your smartphone, on your tablet, anywhere that there's an internet connection for just $12 a month.
So your whole family actually could do yoga for that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh no, somebody needs some
you know
yoga.
what? Actually, this is the
okay.
Windsor Express team, and they're going to be joining us for yoga too.
As he runs away, as he limps away. We can help you. We can help you.
That's right. And it's true, because there are a lot of athletes who are doing a lot of very extensive training, and they do need that stretching, especially for men, because their hamstrings and their quads get really tight, so that they do need that. So when you age and stuff, you can actually bend down and pick something up.
And if you have grandchildren, you can play with them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's about living life more skillfully, for sure.
And doing yoga on the website. So if you're a little intimidated even to come into a studio because you're not sure, you can do that. You can do a tree pose. You can fall if you like.
Yeah.
And that's okay, and get back up.
And the beauty of the online yoga is there's a 4-week intro to yoga series on there. So if you're working your way up to getting into a studio, you can take the 4-week series, and then you'll feel confident when you walk through that door that you have some skills to get you through.
That's right. And go back and
Yeah.
again. But I think once you're in the studio,
Yep.
it's a really nice base, and then you feed off of everybody's energy, and then everybody kind of comes like a little family.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you are located at, what is the address on Tecumseh?
It's 9733 Tecumseh Road East. We're right across the street from the Nissan Infinity dealership, just west of Forest Glade Drive.
Okay, and for people who've never come to yoga, they go, well, what do we bring? Are we supposed to bring a mat? Are we supposed to bring a water bottle? Like, what do we do, right?
Right. If you bring a mat, it's always nice. A mat's kind of like bowling shoes. If you have your own, it's always better. But you can use ours. We have mats that are available to borrow, and that's free of charge. You can borrow a mat free of charge. You wear comfortable clothing, something that you would, you know, go to the gym in or walk your dog in, and just come as you are.
That's right. You don't have to be Lululemon.
You don't have to be Lululemon.
You can do track pants or shorts. Just be comfortable.
Costco's got great
It's true.
yoga clothes. Yeah.
We'll be right back with Diane Bondy.
This is fun.
Welcome back. Diane has 2 books that are going to be coming out.
Yes, one book is called Yoga and Body Image. It's an anthology, and I'm co-authoring with a group of really great authors. A couple of notable authors on there that you may already know is Sean Corn's got a chapter in the book.
Nice.
Brian Kest has a chapter in the book.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You know them. I have a chapter in the book, so we're all talking about our experiences. There's about 12 authors in the book. That will be available in October of 2014. And then our coffee table book, which is all pictures of different body sizes doing yoga, in the book called Yes, Yoga Has Curves. That's going to hit the bookstore in January of 2014.
And how do people get to the books? You said they're the bookstore, so can you order them online on
You can order them,
Amazon?
yeah.
Okay.
You'll be able to order them online at Amazon, and you'll also be able to get them on the Eastside Yoga website, as well as my own personal website, DianeBondyYoga.com. So you'll be able to purchase those books.
Very nice. Okay, so don't forget to visit her website. If you want to do online classes, come to the studio, check out the schedules. I mean, everything's on there. It's Alex will have it up there, www.eastside-yoga.com. And don't forget to like us on NOXTROM Digital Media.
Awesome. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, kind of, Twitter. I love social media, and I'd like to connect with you.
So like Diane at Eastside Yoga on Facebook, and you can follow her.
Awesome.
Until next time, next week we're going to have 3 entrepreneurs who are artists, and they've opened their own shop at Tecumseh Mall. And it's a great place to buy all kinds of unique Christmas gifts. We're going to show you all kinds of different things. I'm going to be wearing one of the dresses. I love it.
Oh,
it's so
nice.
cute. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
Until next time, have a great week.
Namaste.
Namaste.